Hello everyone, this is Rose Gold, and today we're going to be getting into part 6 of What If Naruto Was a Hyuga. Naruto was very interested in this match. He had seen Rock Lee around, and Gaara as well. To be quite honest, he was a bit scared of the red-haired boy. It was like staring into a mirror image of himself. However, the person who he saw was the killer who he could have become if he hadn't stayed on the path he was now. Suddenly the match began, and Naruto was a bit surprised as he was deep in thought, but when he started watching, he was awestruck. The failure, in quotation marks, Rock Lee's taijutsu was incredible. Naruto grinned broadly at Rock Lee until his face dropped to surprise and astonishment as the black-haired boy dropped the weight, and a large boom could be heard when they crashed to the ground. Every Genin, Chunin, and Jonin were awestruck, and even the Kage, who had come here to watch, showed respect to the boy who had done so much to arrive at this level of power. As the weights dropped, Lee blitzed toward Gaara, his new speed almost incomprehensible for all the normal Genin, but he was visible to the more powerful ones. However, it was still an amazing display of power and discipline. Even a talentless fuck up like Rock Lee could become such a powerful ninja, and that everyone saw as, well, slow, Gaara's defense started to crumble, until Rock Lee stopped his flow of attacks and stood a good distance away from Gaara. His arms at his side, Rock Lee started powering up until his face became a lot redder and veins popped out of his forehead and or general face. Rock Lee had done it. He had activated the gates up until the fifth. Gyro was getting absolutely clobbered as the right hook flew into the red-haired boy's face, which actually made a little blood spill. Gara almost lost control until Sand moved to legs Lee, suddenly ensnaring the underside of his body and crushed his legs, winning the fight, but gravely injuring Rock Lee in the process. Naruto stared at the battle, and he was horrified. Not just his face, but everyone's, as they saw the blood. Lee had done so well, however, while hard work beats talent, when talent doesn't work hard, Gara did work hard on his training, so he was able to get our beloved talentless fuck up. Guy instantly jumped in to save his students from the guaranteed death that was about to be bestowed on him by Gara, who already had his hand outstretched to kill Rock Lee. Guy quickly took Lee on his shoulders and disappeared, going to a hospital, but not before giving Gara a stare of deep hatred. Naruto just watched in horror as he saw the now passed out Lee's leg looking like empty toothpaste. Suddenly, the next fight was called upon. It was a rather boring fight of two random Genin that knocked each other out, but still taking enough time for Gar to make a seemingly alright recovery, which he will be needing, as the next fight would be one of the most difficult ones in his life. The crowd cheered, as through the gigantic fighting ring, a voice could be heard booming. The next two opponents are, here at the list, Gara and Sasuke Uchiha. The Genin were watching, quiet, with excitement, until realizing Sasuke wasn't among them. Where had he gone? However, their thoughts were quickly cut off as Sasuke suddenly appeared on the battlefield with Kakashi. He had a change of clothes as his usual blue shirt was switched out for a gray one. His hands were covered in bandages because of his heavy training, but that wasn't the only thing that it had changed. His hair was a bit longer, and looking at him, you could see that he has gotten a ton more powerful. Garo looked at Sasuke with respect in his eyes, as he had told Sasuke in the past that they had the same eyes. By that he meant that they both had the look of someone who experienced love, then lost it. So the red-haired boy, aka the demon of the sand, actually respected the last Uchiha, which was not a very common emotion for him. The two boys approached each other as Kakashi went back to his place in the stand. Suddenly, the instructor shouted, "Go!" and Sasuke was gone. He had copied Lee's taijutsu after seeing some of the previous fight with Lee and Gaara, so he was doing rather well. Especially with his Sharingan, he was able to avoid the sand attacks with slight ease from Gaara until, after fighting a good amount of time, Gaara grazed mm, Sasuke grazed the other boy's cheek with a Chidori, which he had just learned from Kakashi in the 1 month time skip, and a tiny bit of the blood spurted out the red haired boy's face, which started to contort with rage. Seeing his own blood made him almost panic as suddenly the sound's plan were going to action. A Genjutsu would be cast upon the audience as half of Gaara's body was getting covered in sand until the boy started to run. He wanted to kill, however, Sasuke stopped him from going into the village, leading him into a forest, accompanied by someone else who was a bit behind him. It was not any of the Center for Three. It was Naruto Hyuga. Sasuke scoffed, seeing Naruto. He was getting more and more jealous of the exponential power growth, so he was quiet until suddenly he got thrust against the wall by Gaara's stand, who had finally gotten tired of him and tried to squash him fully. However, Sasuke was rather resilient, so while he got badly injured, he was still alive. However, he now pretended to have died to get some recovery time. The fight between Gar and Sasuke had ended because the latter had been unfocused as his thoughts were stuck on Naruto and his jealousy. However, not only was this a grave mistake for Sasuke, but for Gar as well, as Naruto leapt toward Gar at insane speeds. Looking at him closer, you could see a red glint in the normally pale white eyes. It was a blood red, which would strike fear into many hearts in the future. Gar, seeing the boy leap toward him, was a bit shocked. However, he quickly tried to stop him with his sand. However, it didn't work. Naruto propelled himself to the right a little until then, using a gale palm, shot toward Garo and landed a clean punch on the boy, who got blown back. Naruto's face was a bit unnatural, as his usual smile was wiped away, revealing the boy's pent up fury. All the hate he had got from his clan, all the hate he got from the villages. It was all too much, and it had built up for a while now. The ground around him would crack as Naruto jumped at the red-haired demon of the sand, who was growing by the second as more and more sand engulfed him. However, not even his sand defense was quick enough now, as Naruto activated his Byakugan and landed a clean hit once more, until making about 200 clones that all jumped back a little, until revealing their true intentions. And before Gar could stop it, Wind Style, Gale Palm, echoed around from 200 Narutos, and they all slammed into Gaara, whose mental state was beginning to crack even more as, from the air, Naruto did all the handsets necessary and tried a Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu. However, this time it was blocked, but not by the usual defense, but by a tail? The one-tailed beast was terrifying to the young Naruto, whose color drained out of his face, until a giant smoke cloud would blind the beast, annoying it greatly until an orange fox jumped out of him, but not any fox. It was the nine-tailed beast. Sorta? Naruto had found Gamabunta, and in the time they were covered by the cloud of smoke, Naruto talked to him, and they agreed on a plan, but not before needing another smoke shield, which was given to them by all the 200 Narutos poofing at once in front of them, giving them another 10 seconds, and that was enough. More than enough. As Gamabunta was now able to hold the raccoon-like beast from attacking Naruto, who jumped from the nine tails in quotation marks head onto Gaara's, quickly giving him another punch in the face, which made a crack sound as Gaara's jaw looked a bit damaged, but to Naruto's relief, it was not broken. The sad beast disappeared, but as Gaara closed his eyes mid-fall, thinking this was the end, he was caught by Naruto, who stared right into the boy's eyes, which felt more like peering into his soul for the redhead, and spoke. We can't let anger drive us, you know? We have to focus on the good things in life. And even if life doesn't want to give us those moments, we'll force it to. Scar's eyes teared up a bit. Naruto was right, of course, as while Scar tried not to, the boy longed for love. However, he tried to hide it by mercilessly killing. But it wouldn't hurt to give love a shot, would it? Two of the other participants came to pick Gara up after the boy addressed it for a minute or so. And as the two named Kankuro and Temari helped Gara up, he, for the first time, thanked them. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this part. Sorry for a few of the. Sorry for my grammar and a bit of them. I know this took a while, but I had school and a lot of other important things, especially a presentation that I had to finish in 3 days. So don't kill me, please. Please, please, please. This is Rose Gold, and I am out.